How's it going, everyone? My name's Hagbones, come with Bones. I am the coach of the Vancouver Kyogres. Now, um, Aaron invited me to the season 5 of the PBAL, and a little bit of backstory before my draft history. I actually didn't. I was having a hard time getting into a Wi-Fi like upload league, because I've had seasons and seasons of experience just in Showdown and Facebook leagues. Like I own a small DLA called the DLA League. It's just a small Facebook league that I've done. We're just finishing up season 16. But anyways, I ended up getting able to get into the IBL, so that was pretty cool. And I got just as a pickup, I had to finish halfway through the season through the season. And you're gonna find that I'm actually really poor at just like this is a drift analysis, and the thoughts in my head don't come out the greatest when I'm speaking out loud. So explaining stuff is not entirely my strong suit. But so Brendan contacted me to fill in for a coach that dropped in the IBL, and then once I finished that, actually Aaron contacted me to join this league for season 5, and thought that was pretty cool. And I have my screens mixed up now. I just realized that, so I'm actually like looking. I'm looking. My slides are over here, and the other screen's over here. And then actually, I had a friend of mine that used to play in my Facebook league, Austin, who's he owns the PCL, which also he contacted me to play in that. So there's gonna be another draft analysis upload coming up after this one. So, but this one I finished first. So I'm going to go over what I have drafted, kind of why I drafted it. And actually, this team is probably pretty close to one of the better teams I've drafted. There's like 98% chance that like I have everything that is needed. So I'm actually going to go see now. My slides are over here. So, all right. So get rid of that. All right. So our first pick of the league. I got this in round 1, pick 7. It went through 6 people, and no one picked this up. But you have absolutely no idea how insanely good this Pokemon is that it is allowed in Draft League. It has the ability Guerrilla Tactics, which basically gives it a Choice Band, and you can run Choice Scarf. So it's like having a Choice Scarf and a Choice Band all in the same thing. And it gets basically all the exact same moves that regular Darmanitan gets, with a few choice, of course, the ice moves and the new DLC moves, pretty sure, or the Gen 8 moves like Body Press and whatnot. But anyways, with 105 HP, it's really bulky, it's really thick, 140 attack is insane, 95 speed is decently good. It's a really good choice scarfer. And just an abundant amount of coverage moves. So, and it gets U-turn, which I'm a big fan of volt turning and just turning in general. The momentum, if you got momentum, turns out you'll be in really good shape. Also, with it gets Zen mode, which honestly, Zen mode, Galarian Darmanitan is absolutely busted. Because after, like, in Zen mode regular Darmanitan, it just, like, it gets extremely slow, hits special, and it's so hard to use. But this one, it's way better. I mean, your HP stays the same, but your attack gets boosted up to 160, and your speed gets boosted up to 135. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And you turn into a fire type. So you're ice fire, you're dual typing. Absolutely insane. So there could be some really cool sets I could do with Zen mode and Darmanitan. So next on our pick, didn't really cover any of the weaknesses for Darmanitan, but I mean, all in all, you went to Skarmory, and Skarmory is insanely good. Hold on. Oops. What happened? Where the heck happened to the slides? Okay, well anyways. So Skarmory was our next pick. We picked it at number 18. It was a tier 2, and I thought Skarmory at a tier 2 is actually really good. I still think Skarmory is a lot better than Corviknight, just on the sense that, I mean, it also still gets body press. So with that, and it also has spikes and stealth rocks, and that I think is really good. Gets defog, gets almost everything that like Corviknight does, but it's a lot more bulkier, and it has better like better stuff like with stealth rock and spikes. So you've got good things to that I think is better than, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Anyways, Skarmory doesn't have a whole lot. It's got one job, and it does that job really well. And it also has sturdy, so I mean that could be a thing, but at least it guarantees to get spikes or stealth rocks up if it's if I have no switch-ins. But 140 defense, 65 HP. It's still really bulky. It's still really good. Our next pick, I've already spoiled that, is going to be Keldeo. Keldeo is extremely good. I wanted to get a Pokemon that was over 100 speed. So 108, really good. Hits really good, especially with 129. And Keldeo can do some pretty good things. Specs Keldeo is really good. Scarf Keldeo is still really good. Specs Hydro Pump just hits like a freaking truck. So Keldeo is really good in the sense of having that 108 speed, hits that 100 mark. So there's not a whole, I can't really do, I mean, you could run like a Swords Dance set, but it's mostly hitting special, and with Secret Sword, which it hits on, it damages target based on defense. If you want to, it can break down defenses really well. So Keldeo was a really good pick, especially at number 31. I picked that like in the 3rd round, so that's pretty insane. Our next pick is actually the same typing as Keldeo. They're the same typing, but they do stuff a lot differently. So as you see here, we've got a lot of weaknesses to electric, but we fixed up our fire immunity with 2 picks back to back. I ended up picking Vaporeon. Vaporeon is really, really good. I got this in tier 3, and to be honest, tier 3 Vaporeon is pretty good. I feel like it was a pretty good value pick. I think Vaporeon's a good tier 2 pick, but it's really, really bulky, 130 HP, 95 special defense, and actually hits pretty good on the special attack with 110. But I picked up Vaporeon because it actually gets Wish, so we got a Cleric on our team. And also, I didn't notice, I didn't say, but Keldeo gets Flip Turn now, which is actually insane. And so does Vaporeon. So Wish plus Flip Turn, Scald, Ice Beam, and it's even it gets now it gets Weather Ball, which is pretty good. So like we can probably do something with that. And I don't remember if it did before, but it looks like it gets stored power. I don't remember Vaporeon getting stored power before Gen 8. But other than that, Vaporeon and Keldeo do their things a lot differently. So I picked Vaporeon because at tier 3 and I'm still there. And I picked it at 42, so that's a pretty good pick, I think. Next pick we went with was Crocodile. Crocodile is insanely good now. It gets mostly the time it's got really good abilities with Intimidate, Moxie, and also Crocodile is sometimes mostly meant to use. It's a good Choice Scarfer, which is it's kind of its like niche set, I guess. Well, for me it was because you mean Moxie plus Earthquake knockoff, blah blah blah, that type of thing, is really good. But it got access to that move, Scale Shot. I'm pretty sure. Scale Shot, yeah, Scale Shot. So it hits 2 to 5 times, and after that, after the last hit, it goes down. It loses defense and raises speed. So actually, it's pretty good. So it kind of gives you Choice Scarf being able to use all your moves after that. And so it gives me another Stealth Rocker. It gives me a Taunt User, which Keldeo also does instead of Skarmory. But probably one of the best knockoff users in the game. Definitely at least top 3, I think. And it's got really good coverage moves. Gets Darkest Lariat now, so I mean it's probably better than using Crunch. It gets Close Combat now, so you don't have to run Superpower, which is really good. And so yeah, we ended up picking up Crocodile, which is amazing, especially how late we got it picked in. And so after a Crocodile, I was looking at what was left for Gmax and what could be really helpful on our team. Not that it really, that ground type was, actually we didn't have any ground weaknesses at this point, but we ended up going with Gmax Rillaboom as our Gmax. I don't even know I've never even used Rillaboom to begin with when Jenny even came out, so this will be new, but with Grassy Surge is really good. It actually patches up our ground weaknesses, even though we may not have the most like ground like you know like say I have an electric type and you use Earthquake. Grassy Surge kind of stops that from hitting really hard, but Rillaboom gets a lot of good attacks, and it's got a lot of good stuff. It gets good coverage moves, so you run a Body Press set, which I mean technically is not the greatest, to be honest, though, but because it's got higher attack than defense. But it's got good. It's got Darkest Lariat, Drain Punch, Drum Beating, which is probably it's a good move. But what its niche move would be Grassy Slide, which is actually really good. It gets boosted up by the Grassy Surge, obviously, but in grassy terrain, you get the +1 priority, so that is really good. And it's got a 70 base power, which is really good. So that kind of boosts it up to probably around 100, I think. So, but it gets U-turn again, which I didn't notice here. So we got Darmanitan, which has U-turn. Keldeo and Vaporeon, which has got Flip Turn. And now we have Rillaboom, which got U-turn, so we got lots of good momentum going on here. It gets Knockoff, and it gets High Horsepower and Earthquake. Fake Out for more priority and whatnot. Earthquake, Drum Beating, Drain Punch, Darkest Lariat. And the fact is that it hits really hard. 125 attack, 100 HP. So 85 speed, which is pretty decent for how fast he is actually. So we have a bit of an electric weakness with Skarmory, Keldeo, and Vaporeon. I fixed it up a little bit with Crocodile and the Rillaboom. I kind of wanted to fix it up a bit more just in case, because not just in case, but we needed an electric type. So I wanted to get an electric type next, and Tier 4 Jolteon. It was what I picked. It's not as good as it used to be. It doesn't get the hidden power anymore. But that is fine. I got a Volt Absorb user, and so Electric is immune to Jolteon, but it still we can still Dry Baton Pass. Gets Heal Bell like Vaporeon does. It's got Screen, Shadow Ball, all the same things that Jolteon used to do. Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, gets Weather Ball, Wish, all that type of stuff. But basically we just picked up Jolteon because we wanted a fast electric type that hits pretty decent and gives me another electric immunity. And at Tier 4, I think it's pretty good. I think it's where it belongs. It could be Tier 3, but it does a lot better than what it used to. And that gives a Switchmon with Volt Switch, so that's pretty cool. Next pick, we ended up going. I didn't get to pick up Fairy yet, and that's what I was like panicking about it, and ended up picking up Comfy, which is actually insanely good for what tier it's in. I got this in tier 4, and I think that it's pretty crazy because the priority and healing moves on this thing with the Triage ability is 3. So I mean, you can. So Draining Kiss heals. It's a priority move. You have 50 base power. You can Calm Mind with it. You can. I don't know. It does not. I thought I got Nasty Plot, but I didn't. But anyways, it's really good. Aromatherapy, Calm Mind. It gets Defog, Draining Kiss. It's got Energy Ball, Giga Drain. They get another Heal Bell user. It gets. Looks like it gets Light Screen. It does not get Reflect. But that's fine. Stored Power, which could be good. Synthesis gets another Taunt user, Trick Room, and another U-turn user. So that's another turn Monzo so that gets us some good momentum still going on. And that is Comfy is actually really good as a tier 4 as well. So I think that's a good value pick. Our next pick, the other thing I didn't realize I grabbed was not a Dragon type. I didn't grab a Dragon type yet. So I ended up picking Dredagon. Dredagon in tier 4 I think is really good. I don't think it belongs in tier 3, but I think tier 4 it's nice to have, and we picked this at number 90 in the draft, so I think that's still pretty good. It's got some good abilities with Rough Skin and Sheer Force and Mold Breaker. Mold Breaker is good because Dredagon gets 2 of the moves, gets Stealth Rock, and it gets Glare. So Magic Bouncer users, any type of that thing, it does not matter. We can bust through those Magic Bounce, and we can use Set Our Rocks without having to worry about it. Also, it gets like a really good set of moves, good coverage moves. Gets a lot of good dark moves, fire moves, and even gets Gunk Shot, Iron Head. Gets some Power Up Punch, gets some fighting moves, gets everything really. Even though Surf, so like it's never gonna happen, but it does. Another Taunt user. And it's got really good stats, 120 attack, 90 on the defenses, and 75 on the HP, which is overlaid. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But I feel like Dredagon was a pretty good fit in the team. Moving on, our next pick, Duosion. So Duosion was a tier 4, and I think Duosion is actually pretty decent in this tier. It still has 125 special attack, which is it's the same attack as Reuniclus. The only thing it is not as bulky, obviously, because I mean it's Duosion. It's not Reuniclus, but it still get the same kind of abilities with Regenerator and Magic Guard, and gets all the same things that Reuniclus does, Calm Mind, and it gets this new move called Expanding Force, which I don't know how much we're going to be using it because we don't really have Psychic Terrain itself. But it gets Light Screen and Reflect, so it's be good that way. Gets Recover. And that's about it, really. Acid Armor sets and whatnot. Acid Armor, Calm Mind, Stored Power, blah, blah, blah. It gets Steel Roller, which fails if there's no terrain active. I don't know about that move. I've never really seen it, but I don't know how much we'd even use that. And there's nothing really too much about Duosion. It does the 1 or 2 things that it does. So I just wanted a Psychic type, so Duosion was my best pick. And our last pick of the draft, we actually ended up picking Skuntank in tier 5, which honestly is actually not that bad, to be honest. It gave us a speed of 84, which honestly, with all the Pokemon that I had drafted, were all different speeds. So that's kind of what I look forward to sometimes, is I like to pick up Pokemon with different speeds that are not the same, because it's really easy to prep for if your Pokemon got multiple of the same speed. But Skuntank has a really good HP at 103, 84 speed, 93 attack, so it's not that bad. It has priority in Sucker Punch, gets Defog, Foul play gets to be a memento user. Knows play rough, poison jab, blah blah blah, roar. For some reason, when I thought this got toxic spikes, but I guess not. But it gives us a mon to get rid of the toxic spikes. But it also gets this burning jealousy. 100% burns a target that had a stat rise this turn. Interesting. Anyways, it gets like fire spin, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, this is the team that we ended up drafting. And I think that it's actually one of my better teams I've drafted. The only thing that I could say that was that I wish I had drafted was a rapid spin user, which I did not do. But other than that, it kind of everything that I drafted ticked off and whatnot. So, that being said, we're week 1. We'll be battling this week. And draft analysis, I'm going to try and get up today, which is July 6th. So I'm going to put this up today, and I got to have to record another one for the PCL. So stay tuned for more Draft League content, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, see you guys.